Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, hand to the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took a red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah, but I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, well, Culture Casino is here to present to you the beginning of our crew anyway. I'm very excited. Mr. Grant Gregory is asking, am I late? Nah, you're just in time. And of course, Jacob from Society Reviews is here as well. We have a lot of things we could talk about. I'm not sure exactly what we will start with. And I feel bad because I vacated Tom's show, which had to start late because Valiant show ran long. And, well, that makes this show a little later than it was going to be, but not late, not quite as late as it could have been because I got to go to bed. Don't you guys have to go to bed? Aren't you tired? Jacob, are you tired?
I mean, eventually we all have to go to bed, right? I mean,
I'm just saying. It's just
kind of how we all stay alive.
This night. I don't know. Grant's on the other side of the planet. He doesn't know what night is. I mean, you know.
Yeah, we still have the same like daytime and everything that you do. We just do it before you, just to make sure that it gets done right. So
is it day now?
Yeah, it's 2:49 p.m.
So it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, how's
today
tomorrow?
for me?
How's tomorrow?
It still sucks.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I don't know. I'm not sure I want to know that tomorrow sucks. You know what I mean?
Okay, don't look into it. It's great. All your dream comes true. Only one of them though. All of your dream.
All my dream belong to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's good to know that if a giant rock hits the planet, it'll hit Australia first and give us at least 10 hours of time to figure out what we're gonna do.
Yeah, we got to sort stuff out.
If Hollywood's taught me anything, meteors only hit America.
That's
yeah, that's right.
You
Yeah,
can't
never
even tell us we're gonna get hit by a rock.
Yeah, it never hits Chile for some reason. It just always hits like New York and LA. It's just kind of weird how that happens.
Oh, but then again, Buenos Aires got hit in Starship Troopers, so.
Yeah,
okay, so okay. How did Chile get its name? I'm a little curious. It's not chilly there. It's freaking warm. It's hot. It's not.
So with Chile's.
Right, but it's okay.
I like to refer to it as South American Texas, only because of its flag.
Yeah, well, Chile's awesome, by the way. I've had great fortune. I don't have a great fortune, but I've been lucky. I got to go places and do stuff at places with things.
They used to have a pretty solid soccer team. I mean, not this year, but I mean previous years, not too long ago.
I mean,
about as good as Italy this year. They are.
Whoa, hey now. Well, they cut their population in half, going back a few years ago. So I feel bad for Italy, to be honest with you. But not as bad as I do for Germany, who decided to cough up one to, Japan early on in the tournament. No bueno, I would say.
Yeah, but Japan's not out of the woods just yet. They got to beat Spain if they want to, make it in as well. So I mean, they still got, they still got it pretty bad at the moment, but. I mean, hey, at least the Saudis are doing good. That's good, right? Saudis beat Argentina. They're still in it. Saudi money.
I have no words because I don't know. Look, I pay attention to like 4 soccer teams, and none of them are named Saudis.
Yeah, the Saudi Arabia is a country that like a bunch of like oil tycoons like. They may be like actual trillionaires if you actually like dig into how much money they truly have.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
Then why do they keep saying that Musk is the richest dude on the planet?
Musk is the richest dude on the planet that you know of. Yeah, if you start,
and also we're talking about families whose wealth goes back generations and everything, and their money is it's going up so quick it's almost uncountable.
Oh, yeah, so you mean like the Vanderbilts and the Frankfurters or whatever they're called. What do you call those other guys?
The Rothschilds.
The Rothschilds. Yeah, those people. Yeah, they made wine. I remember they made a wine.
Yeah, once you start getting into like banker money and Saudi money, that's when people start, ending up missing mysteriously. So you just tend not to talk about them.
So we're not going to venture into that.
Well, yeah, there was that reporter. There was the reporter that was digging into it, and he had the unfortunate thing. He fell down an elevator shaft and landed on 6 bullets. It was crazy. Just his luck.
That's kind of like a guy that, hangs himself after shooting himself in the face with like a shotgun.
Yeah, the suicide note is like written in a different language and stuff.
Yeah.
But in all fairness, he technically died of COVID, so.
Oh, okay. Well, at the end of it all, I just got demonetized and cannot possibly believe, but I had a good time doing it anyway. We got, like I said, Jacob's here with us. We got Mr. Grant Gregory and some other folks that are on the way after they finish up with whatever is more important than my show. Okay. It's not like these are my friends or anything that are streaming right now, but, I'm not bitter. I just I've had better days, but it's late and it's after my bedtime. I'm a little cranky. Okay, I'm not. I'm in a great mood. I've got a good group of folks with me, but I want to talk about. You know what? I want to start out with the most obvious thing of the day, something that I predicted like 25,000 years ago. Okay, maybe not that long. Like a week ago was gonna like super suck rocks. And
would it have anything to do with Disney?
It does. Well, most things that super suck rocks right now have a lot to do with Disney. But Jacob could pick this one out of the lineup. Let me tell you, he was right there with me, along with many others, and the folks over at Bounding Into Comics and all the other great places Jacob hangs out at because, he's really cool.
If only someone on the panel did a video about this 2 weeks ago.
Was it me?
It was.
Oh, good for me. All right. Well, we're doing another video on it tomorrow that Grant's probably editing right now.
It's already uploaded.
Oh, I love you, dude. I love you. Yeah, we Grant and I are a well-oiled machine. I send him things and stuff happens, and I don't know when or where, but it works.
Yeah. So the judge thumbnail, I think you might like. It's a little spicy.
Oh, we got some spicy stuff. But look, you guys are going to enjoy the next week. Grant and I have stuff that's super special for you. But look at this. This is the thing we were talking about. Wakanda did better than I thought. I thought they'd rock about a 50 burger, 55 burger. They rocked 64 million on the 5-day. So that's good, right?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's going to do better than Love and Thunder, and probably fall short of Doctor Strange. So at least
Still
won't be
make
the
money.
lowest. Yeah, it won't be not a lot, but it's better than what the other one didn't make. So I mean, there's that.
So what are you saying? It's in the top 20 films of Disney this year. Nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
and everyone was saying that this was going to be like a slam dunk to a billion, and then reality set in. But I mean, at least it won't be like a loss. I mean, at least they're not going to lose something crazy like $150 million. I mean, what Disney film do you know could possibly
I
lost that
know.
much money?
I can't even imagine that. And yet, here's a weird thing: Disney released another movie this week.
Oh, that's
It
shocking.
was no. It was an animated film, right? Because again, if you're going to have a Thanksgiving, you want to appeal to the family, right? The broadest
Yeah.
possible audience. You want to hit 4 quadrants with the thing you're going to put out there in the world. You're going to open up this weird animated film called Strange World, right? And then you're not going to tell anybody about it. Or what it's about. You're going to try to hide that actively. Why would you hide what your film's about?
Well, it's funny because I actually have a conspiracy theory regarding the absolute lack of marketing behind this film.
Hmm.
And we all know YouTube is a great place to just, spew out your conspiracy theories. So I think I should just go ahead and start one now. Why I think
Oh,
Strange World had no marketing and why it may have bombed. I think internally Disney severely let's say underestimated the backlash that they were going to get regarding the whole battle with the state of Florida that happened earlier this year, and the fact that Lightyear, a movie that also tried this whole thing of, hey, there's LGBTQ couples in this film and it's a children's film and you guys should like it, and if you don't like it, you're an idiot who's going to die off like the dinosaurs. That probably rubbed off some people the wrong way, that whole quote and meltdown that happened earlier this year. So as you know, this isn't the first Disney animated film that bombed horribly earlier this year. You had Lightyear, which probably lost another $100 million.
here.
I know another film that lost $100 million that was front loading its representation as the forefront for a family movie, and a lot of families out there, believe it or not, do not like to take their kids to go see something where they don't have to have a conversation about LGBTQ lifestyle. So they decided not to go see it, and that film lost a whole lot of money. And then, of course, we all know what happened with the Florida bill, how Disney and all their employees behind the scenes went all in against Rob DeSantis in the state of Florida, and essentially parents in general, who said that if you're not allowing your kids to learn these subjects in kindergarten to third grade, then you're a bad person. And then families, people with kids, didn't take kindly to that. So obviously there's an internal backlash that they know about going into this film. So how can you essentially market a film that's gonna triple down at this point all of the woke divisive politics that you guys have been shoving down everyone's throats throughout the entire year? I think the reason why this film lacked the marketing that it did is because they saw what happened with Lightyear. I think they thought internally Lightyear was going to be a slam dunk because, hey, it's a Toy Story film, right? It's in that Toy Story universe, so this film should make somewhere of about maybe $1 billion, somewhere around that range. It didn't even come close whatsoever. So it's like, hey, look, we're already $180 million in the hole as far as production goes. Let's not lose another $250 million trying to market this film that we know people aren't going to see. Let's just eat the production costs, save ourselves some marketing, and that way the loss won't be as bad if this was just a normal Disney. I know it's not Pixar, but it's essentially another Disney property that we pushed out there with the marketing machine, and it ended up losing even more on a film that we know is going to flop.
And you know what? You're 100% right. I mean, when it comes to Disney, all the brands are interchangeable now.
Yeah.
So you might as well say Disney Animation, Pixar. It's the same thing. I mean, the difference between the studios was lost the minute they asked Lasseter to do both. And you also had some other really strange, weird stuff that was going on in the background with this particular film. It's strange, right?
It's not a great situation for Disney to be in, and they could kind of understand kind of where they're at right now, just as a company, with the whole, oh, let's get rid of our CEO abruptly on the middle of a Sunday night, because that's totally what happens in normal healthy companies. And now you're hearing rumors about, oh yeah, might just go ahead and sell this whole thing to Apple. Apple can just take all of our debt and all of our properties, and we can pretend like this whole thing was planned from the very start.
Except that it wasn't, right? And for those of you who just joined, all 90, some of you just popped in because obviously Tom dropped everybody over here, and thank you for joining us. We have to say thank you to WG, who just gifted 10 Culture Casino memberships for the evening. So for those of you whose names went green, which would be Gary Minoza, Brahma Bull, Annie Masterson, John Sapola, Sander Hammerslag, Andrew 46 and 2, Rogue Thinker, Josiah Fitch, Midnight Mike, Brian says, welcome to the membership. And thank you, WG. You are a man among men and somebody that I can't wait to hang out with and buy a drink, man. It was great to meet you. Can't wait to see you again. We have a whole lot of other folks that are in the chat. Thank you for being here. You guys are the best. Getting back to the subject, I still can't excuse. No, Jacob, and I'll let you go, but I still can't excuse losing $150 million. I mean, I have a video coming out about this tomorrow, and again, I never bury the lead. $150 million. Yeah. That's like a lot.
That's probably as much as they're willing to admit that they're going to lose on this film. So you can only imagine that the way that Disney likes to move their money around and make it seem like that their losses aren't as bad as they truly are. They're probably losing somewhere more than 150. Keep in mind, this is on top of what the 150 million they already lost on Lightyear earlier this year. So it hasn't been a very good year for Disney at all. I think there's a realization that all of their properties right now, whether it's Marvel, the MCU, which hasn't gotten the box office receipts that they have wanted to see this year, whether it's Star Wars, which is completely dead at this point. I mean, it's nothing more than a Disney Plus property at this point, which is not what they paid, $4 or $5 billion for in the first place. Pixar, you look at Pixar, they took a massive hit this year with all their controversies, and they haven't produced a film that's made $1 billion since 2019. So that just goes how bad the Pixar brand is. Like, they're looking around at a lot of their properties, and because Disney's this big corporation, it's like, oh, well, we still have the theme parks, we still have ESPN, we still have all of our streaming services. So if our film industry is down, we still have money from all of these other revenues that we have.
They've also got a built-in excuse too, Jake. They can just go, well, this was all to do with Chapek. This is all Chapek's doing. Chapek, and that's what it'll come down to. My conspiracy theory is that they were always going to bring Iger back in, and they were looking for a reason, and I think this was part of the reason. They deliberately sabotaged everything like this so they can go, look what you've done.
Well, not only that, but there's something that I know a few people of our sphere has talked about is the whole financial fall of FTX, which is, this crypto giant that just kind of came out of nowhere overnight and was suddenly worth $16 billion and had a lot of people's money. And now just seemingly all that money's gone now. So imagine being in the position where you were kind of living beyond your means, but hey, you were making enough money on whatever, income you had coming in. So you didn't have to worry about how much you were spending. Well, if that income just snaps like Thanos and goes away suddenly, then you're kind of in a pickle there, aren't you? Because you're still spending the same amount, you're still putting out money that you're not getting back anymore. So that can cause a few panic moves behind the scenes. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. No, I know for a
100%.
fact. Yeah.
It's pretty much guaranteed that's what's happened.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, I'm hey, what's up, Valiant Renegades in the chat? Man, Valiant had a great live stream earlier. Then we rolled into Tom's, and we're here. Thank you for being here, everybody. 172 of you in the chat. I do appreciate you. WG just gifted a bunch of memberships. For those of you who just joined, thank you. But getting back to this, how many films? Okay, real quick, because I want to review this because this is broader, right? This particular failure we're looking at here, there's bigger fish to fry. Let's just put it that way. So you have how many red ink films for Disney this year? How many? Because it's a lot.
At least 7.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have 7 red ink films, right? This one probably the most massive. Light Beer maybe second to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. How do you lose $6 billion on an animated film over Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I'm at a loss. I've been at a loss for a while with Disney's strategy, right? And again, I'm actually crafting a video right now. It's going to be something that's coming down the road, maybe not even this week. But I've been very frustrated because I'm like, this is 100% based on ideology right now. This is ideologically based. There's no, they're not making films for consumption anymore. It's a propaganda support of ideology film. It's like, these are your three categories, and none of them are things you're interested in, and they're going to preach at you. So they're putting less butts in the seats. If you look at the adjustment for inflation, right, of ticket prices, like I think Valiant, who's in the chat right now, says, like, if you look at in particular an average, including premium large format screens, we've had a 20% increase in ticket prices since 2019.
Yeah.
Right. And forgive me, Valiant, if I'm getting your numbers wrong, but I think that's right. And that 20% difference equals fewer asses in seats for films that are earning less money, which means you have even less fans that you think you do. You've essentially cut your audience in half. Not the 30% of people that are never going to return to the theaters that we've been told is actually happening, right?
Yeah. Well,
because I don't think it's that high. But at the same time, there's less people going to see stuff.
Well, that's the other spin, right? Because you're looking at Wakanda Forever, and I believe they're close to 700 million at the moment. Now, you also have to keep in mind that the first Black Panther film, which was 2017, if I'm not mistaken, it was 2017, 2018. That one made 1.3 billion. So you're looking at this one making 700 million, and they're trying to do everything in their power to make it seem like, oh, this is what we always expected this film to make. You also have to take into account the massive rate of inflation that we've seen here in the last 2 years as well, which means that money, that $700 million, is due to way overinflated ticket prices compared to what it was just 5 years ago, which means there are even less people going out to see this than it was years back. So they understand that they're losing people, and whatever they're trying to do, shifting the numbers and shifting the money around, trying to make it seem like it's not as bad as it really is. Because I mean, let's be honest, that's what every publicly traded company does around times like this. They always have to make it seem like that. Oh no, the only reason why we didn't do well this month around is because this happened. And don't worry, it's going to get much better until it doesn't end up getting much better. It gets much worse, and that's part of the panic with the whole Q4, because they know that, hey, this thing is going to look a lot worse on the numbers, especially considering all the stuff that we talked about with these box office movies. We still got Avatar 2 coming out, which you talk about a potential financial loss for a major company.
Nuclear warhead. Nuclear warhead. And it's, I mean, you like, this is a phenomenal bomb, and thank you, Jacob, you're 100% right. I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is a disaster. And our friend, of course, Larry, who's been a member here for a long time, 21 months, a name so nice, you say it twice, Larry. He says losing millions would mean losing your job, except in Hollywood, incompetence gets you a promotion. Disney loses millions, yet keeps doing the same thing. And look, I mean, ultimately, you're 100% right. But it doesn't change anything. They haven't learned from their behavior. They're banging their head against the same wall because it's not in service of profit, which again is, well, kind of against what you should be doing as a corporation. Yeah. It doesn't make money.
You're also never going to learn when companies like Forbes and Variety have spent the entire weekend writing 7 articles about why your film failed, but it had nothing to do about the ideology that you guys have been pushing for the last 6 months to a year, just in children's films alone.
Yeah, indeed. And that's, and it is what it is when it comes to, the ideological component of it all. But it's very, very frustrating. And Six, I just sent you the thing you needed. So, okay. But I don't know. I'm looking at this and I'm seeing catastrophe in so many different places that Iger can't cover it up. So what's he going to do? So if you have to pivot. I think this is the part of the conversation I wanted to have with everybody here. You have to pivot. Where do you go? What are you going to do? Where are you going to pivot to? What's your next move as like the ideology chief in this company? Because that's what he is. He set all of this up. Let's not forget the reason where we're at is because he greenlit this piece of shit in the first place. Okay. And he's been heavily weighting the company with ideologues that are hell bent on this kind of propaganda. So what do you do? How do you pivot? What's your direction? You know, and to be fair, since we just had two great panelists added to this stream, we have both Six and Brahma Bull. I'll pose this to Brahma because I think he probably would like to add to this conversation. Maybe not. I don't know. You want to add?
This is definitely more you guys' avenue, but I'm not sure how you would pivot. I mean, they could soften it up a little bit. I think the Democrat Party and the left are going to end up eventually trying to court the Latino vote again because they're losing that. So they may pivot towards catering to that group.
You can't pivot though if you're not addressing the problem, because you're not addressing the central problem. You're just putting a band-aid over where.
Of course, they can pivot without addressing it. That's the whole point. That's all they want to do is pivot.
Just move on to the next thing.
Yeah. And you know what? Valiant's here. Valiant. The question I just asked, if you missed it, my friend, and thank you for joining us this evening. I know your time is limited, but I appreciate you being here. Disney's at the point where they have to pivot based on colossal collapses of films like this that are ideologically driven. So, and I see you, Jolly. I get you in a minute. But Valiant, when you think of how Disney has to pivot here, what are they going to do? No, it's not just going to be politics, Mr. Tickletron.
I pivot in the sense of what? I mean,
well, from heavily weighted, ideologically driven content, right? Oh, we lost Six. Bummer.
Well, they have to pivot completely away from it. I mean, this is a commercial disaster for them. It has been. It's not going to stop being a commercial disaster anytime soon.
Right.
I mean, this is. It used to be where these movies would enjoy a theatrical run, enjoy a very lucrative post-theatrical run, and then they would also enjoy ancillary sales like toys and merchandising. They're not doing that now. That's gone.
Yeah.
That has been a major problem of things that, you know, people like myself and WDW Pro over at thatparkplace.com have covered extensively. So this has to be a complete retooling. And what Iger is doing now is basically going to just shift the blame all over to Chapek, saying he screwed it all up, but in reality, it was Iger that burned the ship to the ground with his incessant spending and his stupid decisions. Everything that we hate about Disney right now is because of Bob Iger. I mean, that has to be understood thoroughly by the public out there. There can be no bones about it. This get woke, go broke bullshit that, that's why Bob Chapek got fired. No, it wasn't. It definitively was not. The evidence is out there. The receipts are out there. That is a just failure of understanding that is an opinion that is largely based in, and I do not mean this in a demeaning or insensitive way, but it's an opinion that is based in just sheer ignorance of the reality of the situation, period. And I would encourage all of our, very beloved, friendly, media, alternative media, conservative media, whatever you want to call them out there, to reassess their investigations or their opinions on the matter, really dig deeper into this. Look back into channels like mine, like Cultures, like Midnight's Edge. Look back at WDW Pro's coverings on that Park Place and really find out what the truth is on this. Bob Chapek is being set up as the fall guy for what Bob Iger did. Period.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's
I
well
agree with
said,
that.
my friend. Well said.
Essentially, Iger set fire to the ship, jumped off, and then pointed the finger at the guy who was trying to steer it back up, saying, "Oh, it's his fault." Then when he came back on, he's just like, "Oh, yeah, I was the hero because I warned you that that guy was burning the ship."
That's it, Jacob. That's
Yeah.
it.
But was he ever actually trying to steer it back up, or was he just putting it on autopilot from what Iger had it on?
That's my. I mean, I do think he was trying because we can always go. We can say that, hey, look, he caved at the end of the day, and he did. But initially, the whole thing with like the Florida situation and the Rob DeSantis situation, he wanted to stay out of that one entirely. He made his point initially very clear. It's like, hey, look, we're not gonna play political football with this issue. We're just gonna stay out of it. Basically, the people within his own company, most of them who were hired by Iger, who are Iger loyalists, and that was another part of this whole story that doesn't get talked about much, is that you had people in Disney who were trying to undermine Chapek who were still loyal to Bob Iger. And then my point is that, with Chapek, he should have been smart enough to know that you can't try to correct the ship when you have people there actively trying to undermine you at the same time. His biggest mistake is that if he really wanted to fix things, he should have gotten rid of those people when he had the chance. And now he don't have the chance. He's the odd man out, and all those people who are undermining him are still there.
And Jacob, you're right. But here's the thing, though. A guy in Chapek's position coming in like he was, and I want everybody to think back about this is going to sound nuts. Mm-hmm. And this is going to, probably take people by surprise. The situation with Bob Chapek coming into office as he did, the time he did, in the position that he did, was quite frankly not unlike Trump. And I'm not trying to say that Bob Chapek is Donald Trump. Please don't misunderstand what I'm saying.
You heard it first here, folks. He quoted this. He's exactly the same as Trump.
The bureaucracy is what's the bureaucracy.
Cancel.
Exactly. The bureaucracy is the problem. Yeah, and that is what Chapek had to deal with. It is not so easy a feat to just walk into office and say, everybody is fired. And I've been saying this for weeks now, if months, in comparison especially to folks like David Zaslav, in comparison to folks like Elon Musk. They are in very, very, very different corporate positions than a Bob Chapek. Elon Musk, a hostile takeover of Twitter, effectively. David Zaslav, a hostile takeover of Warner Brothers, effectively. These people took these companies over and effectively, they got to appoint their own board members. The board effectively answered to them as CEOs. Bob Chapek did not have that luxury. Bob Chapek came in, as I reminded people earlier on the stream tonight, I'll remind people here on Culture Show. When the whole kerfuffle started with House Bill 1557 in Florida, in the state house, the state legislature, the parental rights and education bill, as it was lawfully named, as it was erroneously called by people out there in legacy media, the quote-unquote don't say gay bill. What was Bob Chapek's first response? It was effectively, not on my plate, don't care. What did he say when the first issues came out, which I remind folks that those first issues from the Walt Disney employees were not made public until the bill had passed. Mm-hmm. Key point. Do not forget this. That is not that's not an incidental issue. Okay? Nothing had been said about this bill until it had passed the House and was on DeSantis's desk. Then what happened? Oh, this is a problem. Oh, this is this. What was Chapek's initial response? We were working behind the scenes. We respect everybody at Disney, all their different lifestyles. We respect our guests and everything else. We make stuff that appeals to a broad audience. We're not, we want to make things that appeal to this diversity and that diversity and all this. Even his Wall Street Journal interview from a few weeks ago that people claimed that Bob Chapek said that Disney is not too woke. He did not say this. To be fair, he did not. This was leveraged into a soundbite that he deliberately tried to avoid. What I found interesting about the March and February and even April comments, what Bob Chapek said, particularly during the earnings call, was we worked behind the scenes. We figured working behind the scenes would be more advantageous to this issue than trying to go out and attack it head on. Who was the first person, big name, that went public with the whole 1557 bill that lit up the social medias? Who was the first person that called out the fact that Disney, he felt, didn't respond appropriately? Anybody want to guess? It was Bob Iger. It was Bob Iger that called out Chapek and the Walt Disney Company initially in this, during that week. It was Bob Chapek that basically said, yeah, we're working behind the scenes. Then what did Ron DeSantis' office say? What did the office of the Speaker of the House of the Florida State Legislature basically allude to after that in almost no uncertain terms? We were never contacted while this bill was passing through committee. We were never contacted by the Disney Company or Bob Chapek or anybody else about House Bill 1557. News to us.
Yeah.
Oh, what should that tell you? That should tell you that Bob Chapek didn't give a flying rat's ass about this bill because it was a stupid nonsense nothing for the Walt Disney Company. He got shellacked into forcing out a response to this as time went on. And then we saw the Reimagine Tomorrow videos. We saw the hostage video with the figurative political Sig Sauer pointed at his head. Make this hostage video, right?
Yeah.
That is where that all came out. You have to go back and look at the actual evidentiary process here of what laid out, what happened, what actually came to terms, and what Chapek said and what he didn't say. And here's the other thing I keep reminding people. If Bob Chapek really was the woke individual that some out there, unfortunately, in my opinion, that our conservative media and our free media thinker brethren out there that would like to portend, I question this. Why is it that Bob Iger, the architect of all woke at Disney, why is it that Bob Iger hated Chapek so much? If Bob Chapek was the woke nutbag that some people want to make him out to be, then why is it that Bob Iger stuck his foot up his ass at every single turn imaginable? I'm not trying to say that you're wrong. I'm trying to say, give me an answer to this. Tell me how this doesn't make sense.
I and somebody just said it in the chat, and we'll get to it because it's a super chat, and we'll talk about it. But I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on there. I mean, let's just be honest about it. And you and I both know, because we know some people, that there's some stuff that was happening in the background going into this. There was no plan for succession in place, because normally they groom somebody that they really want to pass.
Don't say groom.
Well, okay. Wow. Did I say that around Disney? I apologize. But it's true.
Yeah, really, right?
They normally put somebody in place. So, and you and I both know this, because the likely person that was going to get this gig was going to be Tom Staggs. The problem is he screwed up. He spent an extra $1 billion on NGE. I keep trying to talk to people about this, but in the background, he spent way more money on the, let's convert everything in the theme parks project than they anticipated they were going to spend, to the tune of an extra $1 billion. But we set that aside. He went on. Tom Staggs left because he wasn't going to get what he wanted to get, because Iger wasn't moving along quickly enough, because he avoided what the normal succession process would be for Disney. And so Staggs went off to start a $1 billion hedge fund that's buying up other entities, content creators, right? Hello Sunshine or Blow Farts in the Wind or whatever these content houses are called. And they're stuck. They got stuck with Chapek because Iger needed to bail out so he could get a chance at the a political game, and also they tried to buy him off with an ambassadorship to China. I mean, you and I both know this, so this is a really weird place. Is like, since Chapek wasn't the guy, but they put the guy in place, a lot of people believe, and I'm one of them, that he might have just been the fall guy.
Well, it's funny because I actually do have an article that kind of plays up to this. If you pull it up here, this is one that we wrote back in July. So this one, this is when Bob Iger, back in July, keep in mind this is when this happened, said that hiring Bob Chapek was one of his worst business decisions ever. So this was right after DeSantis had pulled the Reedy Creek special privileges away from, essentially. It pulled it away. Then Iger went out and did an interview where he basically buried Chapek while he was still the active CEO of the company. Now, there was people saying that they had been in odds for essentially months, like right after the whole thing started when he hired him to begin with. And just a couple of notes that I have here. Iger quickly chaffed at Chapek's leadership style, reportedly found his successor to be a novice in responding to talent management concerns and politics adjacent disputes. Says the company infamous contract dispute with Scarlett Johansson, where she sued Disney over the simultaneous release of Black Widow and Disney Plus, did not help matters. That was a big sticking point for both of them. Going down here, let's see. I'll make sure I have the line here. Oh yeah, Iger said that he stated that the bill was hateful. This is going back to the Florida bill that they started this whole thing. That the bill was hateful. He thought that Chapek's immediate decision to refuse to take a public stance on it was a mistake. He says that Iger viewed Chapek as arrogant and uninterested in other people's opinions. He says that if this bill passed, young LGBTQ people will be in jeopardy. He says that there was one more line on here that I wanted to hit too. Make sure I found it. Yeah, sorry, there was one more key point that I wanted to make sure. Make sure I didn't go over that one. Yeah, but I mean, this basically has been saying that that they have been going at it essentially since Chapek started, and this is even going back before the decision. Like I said, the whole I think it was Cruella and Black Widow, the whole thing that got Scarlett Johansson and Emma Stone to sue Disney over the fact that they weren't going to get their back end from the movies that they were expecting, even though it was in the middle of a pandemic. So I mean, even though he kind of had an excuse, but if it was in your contract, I still get it. But this is, like I said, this was 4 months before all this happened, and you had Iger publicly burying the leader of the company going back for a while too.
I'm going to say this: he kind of did that all the way along, and even in turning the reins over 11 months ago on January 10th, I'll never forget it. The letter with the 3 pillars, and I think Valiant and I paid very close attention to what those 3 pillars were. So. He didn't get a chance to work on any of those.
No, not at all.
No, and I want to remind everybody that, well, I'm thinking now, I don't know if we ever publicly released this, but we had information that a lot of the major changes, even more than what Chapek had already built in, because look, who was the first person that got executed after Chapek that we called?
Kareem Daniels.
We called that Sunday night.
Yeah, you did.
That was one of the first things we said. Kareem Daniel will be the next one to go.
Yep.
12 to 15 hours later, he was gone.
Yeah.
We had information that some of Chapek's biggest changes were coming late this year, and we knew this 3 to 4 months ago. Some of his biggest changes were going to be announced in November. Just saying.
Yeah.
And here we are. And as we talked about it on the show earlier today, and for those of you watching that may not have caught the show earlier today, Christine McCarthy, the chief financial officer of the Walt Disney Company, My opinion, this is somebody who would knife her own grandmother for $10.
You're probably right.
So, I mean, she is a lethal bitch. There you go. So take that for what it's worth. Listening to the earnings call, listening to the excuses made to this point as somebody who has spent 20 years in the financial industry, this whole thing stinks to high heaven.
Right.
Nothing about this works. I mean, I have seen sudden CEO changes. I have seen sharp redirects from a board of directors in my professional tenure. This one don't make no sense. Okay, let me put it that way. This one, I mean, there are so many other excuses that I could make for what happened on the earnings call, and I get it. I'm not arguing the fact that Bob Chapek did not have the most prestigious earnings call a couple of weeks ago.
No, he's not a public speaker.
We covered it. I mean, Christ, the issue that a lot of Wall Street Journal magazines and publications are making bones over. I mean, as it was said live in real time on our live stream, y'all can watch it. It's either on the main channel or on Renegade Online, the archive channel at this point. I've been a little remiss in trying to do backups. I've just been busy as hell. But the point is that Procard is like, wait, what did he just say? What was? No, it wasn't a great answer. But here's the thing people have to understand is that everything that was publicated in that earnings call would have been extensively reviewed and gone over and rehearsed, not only by Bob Chapek, but also by Christine McCarthy, the chief financial officer. Everything going into that earnings call would have been well known in advance.
Yeah, they don't fly by the seat of their pants for those.
Yeah, to say that like somehow the information Chapek gave was like mind-boggling, and now they're trying to pin all this. Well, he cooked the books. I'm like, no, he freaking didn't. They cited like the most bullshit nothing shows imaginable with dick level budgets compared to things like Andor and Mando and everything else, all the Marvel shows. I mean,
they're trying.
Bitch, please. Some of us out there on YouTube are not so stupid as to believe this kind of stuff. I mean, cooking the books, and again, I'm not dunking on. I want to make this clear. I'm not dunking on. Publications out there and YouTube friends that are using that lingo because it's been so overused in the past. But I want people to understand that's a term that is usually attached to illegal things. There's nothing, even if Chapek did that, even if he shifted things to where he released it on a linear delivery content channel, that's not an illegal thing. That's not, a violation of law. That's not a violation of Internal Revenue Code in and of itself. Yeah. Now, could there have been some things in there that maybe they did funky? I guess it's possible. But I want to caution my friends out there, and I do use that term genuinely, my friends out there, from using the term cooking the books, because that's a very, very different thing. We're talking about like Al Capone shit at that point.
Well, I mean, and again, I mean, the show you're referring to is Dr. Pufnstuf Society of Complete Weirdness or whatnot, and all he did was offload the budget onto the linear side.
You're not burying any significant. We're talking about Disney Plus in this past quarter having a loss of approximately $1.45 billion. In the previous quarter, $1.1 billion. The shows that were cited in these articles, we're talking about like a handful of a few million. That's a lot of money. But in the face of, we're talking billions? Yeah. That's a fart in the wind. If Chapek was really trying to cook the books or whatever, He could have boondoggled Andor, all the Marvel shows, Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Yeah.
all this other stuff that they spent in excess of $150 million producing.
Easily.
Didn't happen.
No.
This, to me, all of this sniffs like this is a gaslighting beyond all gaslightings that you could imagine. I trust none of this shit at this point. That's not to say that it may not eventually bear out to be correct, but as probably a lot of people watching this show right now have become very keen-eared to very sensitive to, that the initial reports that the mainstream or legacy media gives you probably ain't worth a pile of dog shit.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question real quick, because this is something going back to earlier this year that I thought about as well. Is that there was talks like Chapek was going to make some changes, and we talked about that they got rid of him before he had a chance to make those changes. Was those changes that he was planning on making earlier this year? I was thinking when the whole mess with Florida happened, I was thinking to myself, they probably didn't want to get rid of some people behind the scenes that they probably should have gotten rid of, because obviously the optics of that would have been bad for Disney in the case of Disney, because then they would have been like, oh, so now you're punishing people who want to stand up for LGBTQ rights, whatever that case may be, which would have made a much uglier Disney PR decision, which is already ugly enough as it was, at least from their perspective. So you think that he tried to like wait a few months to try to make it seem like those decisions that he probably should have made months ago weren't directly related to the fallout in Florida, or do you think that they pretty much already had it for him before all this went down?
Yes. Yes.
Well,
look,
but it's even broader than that, though, Valiant, isn't it? It's like he was just kind of biding time to remove the chaff.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, look, when he came into his position of power, I mean, you can't just. A lot of people think that, oh, you're the CEO, you can do whatever you want. No, most of the time, no, you can't. Most CEOs, again, as a reminder, do not have the power, the level of power that an Elon Musk has, or that a David Zaslav, to even a lesser degree compared to Elon Musk, has.
Yeah.
Chapek was well below that regulation of power, and the issue is that the global macroeconomic issues that are now, we're all talking about, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Inflation, slowdowns, the R word, recession, all of that was feeding Chapek that golden moment to where he could actually start dialing back. We saw this. People were shocked. People on this panel, people in this chat right now will remember these discussions. In the last couple of months, we were shocked to see, where was Netflix cutting back? Where was Warner Brothers cutting back? How about Paramount? Everybody else?
Yeah.
Where were they cutting back? They were not expressly targeting the quote-unquote woke stuff, right?
Nope.
And this is the thing. This is the mantra of places like CultureCasino, Valiant Renegade, Hollywood through the business and financial lens of reality, right? What's the reality? The reality is money talks and shit fucking walks, right?
Yeah.
What was Netflix doing? What was Warner Brothers doing? What was everybody else doing? Money was talking, shit was walking.
Yep.
And it's not about like, oh, we don't want to have diversity, equity, and inclusion. No. As I've said on my channel for a while, you can have DEI, but DEI has to be put in its place. You can't spend $200 million making a progressive this, that, and the other thing where you deliberately go out to denigrate this audience, that audience. You can't go out and denigrate men.
No.
Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. You can't go out and shame men and shame black men, especially, and expect to be able to still have the same success. People are celebrating Wakanda Forever. That's great. Reality is that ticket prices today are 35% or so higher than they were in 2018 when the first Black Panther movie came out.
20% higher than 2019, right?
And nobody's buying the fucking toys.
Nope. That's the thing. Okay, so this is a funny thing. I brought it up in a video that's coming out this week, Valiant. Nobody's buying toys. There's no merchandise selling with any of this stuff.
No, there's not.
Is this real life? Am I here?
Yeah, hi, Tom.
Tom's here. Hey,
Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Hi. I've only been here for like 30 minutes.
Well, wait. No, I mean...
don't blame me. Culture didn't.
It's not me. It wasn't me. It's just this conversation lent itself to the people who were speaking, and Tom was
Had a
like,
bit I was gonna do. It totally went out the window.
Give us your
I
bit.
ruined it.
Show us both inches
No,
of
you
it.
did in 6. Culture
No,
did
I'm
by
good.
kicking me out of the stream.
No, I
Tom
kicked
can
you out,
take
though.
over. I've got to get some sleep tonight. Tom's here.
Valiant.
I'm glad he is.
Valiant,
So,
Valiant, dude, I really appreciate you popping in, bro. Your stream was glorious from beginning to end. Of course, I'm throwing rocks at people while, because like X-Wing, I'm just hurling boulders at that dude. But man, you're killing it, and we love you, and thank you for popping in. We do appreciate it. And yeah, there's a handful. There's a handful of humans on YouTube right now that have been with this since its inception point, and they're carrying forward, and you're doing it, and of course Doomcock's doing it, and WDW Pro's doing it. Everybody's carrying water right now for the right side of the argument. I just want everybody else to catch up, and again, it's for anybody who is not where we are right now, it's not because they weren't paying attention. It's because sometimes the media gives them the wrong side of the argument.
Yeah.
So
And that's it. And look, folks out there, keep paying attention to channels like Culture Casino. Keep paying attention to channels like Tom at Midnight's Edge.
Oh yeah.
And Midnight's Edge After Dark.
Yeah.
Keep
No one pays
watching.
attention to me.
No.
Well, how many channels do you have, Thomas? Like 27. So yeah.
He's got nothing.
He's not going to say anything. He's mad at me
I
now.
don't know.
I don't know.
No, but here's the thing: is look, we love to discuss this, and one of the things. This is why I come here.
No.
I was having a conversation with Pro tonight after the show. I know who the good friends are here on YouTube, and this is why I keep coming back. I don't care how big they are, how small they are.
Did we lose Grant?
I have.
Yeah, he'll be back. He's uploading stuff for tomorrow.
I appreciate the friendships. I appreciate the honest camaraderie. I appreciate the honest conversations. And that's the big thing. That is the big thing. That's what needs to happen more here on YouTube. And just as, for the folks out there watching, let me leave you with this. The biggest YouTube channels out there, they got some great stuff. They do some wonderful work. They do some great social commentary. A lot of them are great friends of mine. We're carving out a different path.
Yeah.
And that's why people keep coming here to places like Culture, to my channel, to Tom, to Midnight's Edge After Dark. We do things a little bit different, and that's cool. We should all do things a little bit different. And I want people to keep coming back here. Everybody needs the great social commentary from the big channels out there.
That's right. I stream in the nude.
There
That's
you
true.
go.
That's how I do it differently.
This is why Tom scares me.
To gain viewers or
Just wearing a bat cowl
that
sometimes.
That too. But there, these big channels out there, they do great stuff, and I love them, and they're all friends of mine, and I have mad respect for them. These are the folks out there that inspired me to get on YouTube, and I will never, ever, ever forget that. But at the same time, I will never, ever forget my friends, the people that have backed me up, the people that I have been on their channels, and I have backed them up. Good folks out there. So stay tuned. Look at a variety of different YouTube channels out there. It doesn't matter whether they have hundreds of thousands or 1 million subs, or they have, 5,000 or 1,000 or 500 subs. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Go to where you are intellectually stimulated. Listen to everything out there. Make your own decisions. That's all we want from you. And this panel right here, this is a good panel. Keep listening.
I love you too, man.
You love Tom. Tom's a good guy. Tom's a great guy. Midnight's Edge and Culture Casino. You guys have been tremendous friends. I've been here. And Six, if you're still around, I know you're muted.
Oh, she is.
I'm
She's
here.
doing everything in the background. She's running.
Six is a sweetheart, and I love Six to death.
Oh, thanks,
Ooh.
Theo.
I
love you
don't
too.
say it enough, but I'm going to say it right now.
Why is it all the married dudes love Six to pieces? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they love me like a sister because they're my family.
I love
just it. That's it.
We love you like a rock.
You are the
Like
rock.
a rock.
Like
Rock of Ages.
So,
Well, Valiant,
Thank
dude,
you
I
all.
love you. I love you very much. I've supported you from day one.
you have.
I have one of your very earliest subscribers. I'm like, oh shit, this guy's talking my language. So thanks for being here, brother. Go to bed. Holy crap!
I know,
How long
it-
was your broadcast day? It was long.
4 hours.
Dumb
That's
long.
too long for me. I did not expect to go that long. I really didn't. I mean, it's I'll put it this way. I started this show 30 minutes early. Here's the deal. So
Your wife says that a lot, doesn't she?
Wow.
Exactly, pretty much.
didn't
I do a
expect
lot
her
of
to go
foreplay.
that
I started my
a
show
lot of
30 minutes
foreplay.
early. Why are you not in here? Like anyway, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I started 30 minutes early today because it was like, okay, tonight we had an X-Wing and Echo Base. And all these,
have
all
you
these
ever seen X-Wing? What do you call that? What's the things the kids do now with the She-Hulk did it? What's that?
Tide Pods?
No, with the booty thing.
Twerking.
Twerking. Yeah.
Oh
X-Wing is famous
yeah. No,
for
I've
twerking.
seen that one. We ripped on them enough. We
Okay,
ripped on
all
them
right.
enough tonight.
Are you sure?
No, but the point was like I planned this show out for today's show. In a rare instance, I planned this out a month ago because I'm like, okay, Michelle, Natalie, X-Wing. I had Star Wars Meg. I had Drunk. I had a whole bunch of people lined up. I'm like, I want to do an Andor wrap-up show. And we planned this out literally a month ago. And then last week, the whole Disney shit broke apart. So that's why it's like, I'm going to start 30 minutes early so we can talk Andor because, it's like I committed to these folks. I want to do Andor and I don't want to break my commitment. And we got them on. We had the conversation, but then it just blew up. I mean, like the chat just would not stop. And we still had 1,000 people when we closed out the show.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah. It's
Go
what
to
it
bed.
is. I appreciate
Go.
everybody.
Go to bed. This man works too hard. I love him so very much, and you should too. So if you're not subscribed to Valiant and Renegade, if you don't follow his content, you're missing out because he gives you numbers, and he often has amazing guests like Cameron and WDW Pro and many other people who know what the F they're talking about. So check out Valiant Renegade. One of my friends that, God, I can't wait to meet in person and teach him how to fish. Good gravy. The guy doesn't know how to fish.
Yeah, I have no idea how to fish. Not at all. I still have to reschedule the LawTube stream. That was supposed to be 3 weeks ago, and then that blew up.
There's this guy. He's famous. He's this LawTube guy. Legal Mind something or another.
Yeah, Legal Mindset was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Nick was supposed to be there too.
Ricotta.
Nick,
He's like a
yeah.
cheese. This
So
cheese guy. This cheese.
We're working on it. So stay tuned.
Check out this man. I love him very much. Get out of here. I have super chats. What the fuck are you doing here?
Get super chats. See y'all. God bless.
Bye,
Subscribe to everybody.
Bye,
here.
VR.
Bye, Valiant.
Oh, I'm so happy. You guys don't even understand. We have so much fun here. Of all of us kind of hang. And the one person I think doesn't get enough recognition when it comes to all of this stuff is the guy next to me right now. When it comes to Jacob over at Society Reviews, bowing into comics, and everywhere else he is. Check out his Barroom podcast because his crew breaks it down on the regular, and it's one of my favorite shows. I wish you could join. You just happen to do stuff when I'm like trying to like work. So, but
Hey, I
let's
get
jump
one
on
night a
these.
week.
I know, but dude, I'm working all the time. It's okay. I will join your stream, bro. But Dash Attack says for $4.99 says both Bobs are woke. Disney's a joke. Oh, we're rhyming now. DC's supposed to reveal more stuff this month. Callisto Protocol this Friday. Good day, Mr. Casino. Well, Dash Attack, thank you very much. Check out Dash Attack's channel. He is awesome. Love Dash. We got one from Brett Cohen for an Australian $5. Thanks, Brett. Appreciate that. So CC at 10K. Will we get a perm? Maybe a mohawk? A brush-tail possum to let it all hang out from the exquisitely manicured mane? No. 10K means you get a shirtless casino for a part of a stream.
Nipple reveal.
A nipple reveal. Yeah, I gotta start working out because we're getting close to 10K. I gotta. So yeah. Now look, I'm old man, so you're gonna get old man boobs with old man chest hair. So enjoy.
Are we gonna get a picture of you in the woods chopping wood? Is that what's happening? That's the 10K.
I could do that if you want. By the way, I split wood like a maniac. I have this really cool tool. Anyway, we'll get into that later. But I caught one of the member chats. I wanted to make sure I grabbed it. It's from your Muslim uncle. 13 months. Thanks, bro. Says, Hail Culture panel and chat. Hope your turkeys were glorious. Yes, they were, my friend. And thank you indeed. We're going to move on here to Mr. Trickle Trunk for a Canadian $2. That's called a toonie. And it's kind of loony because that thing it's about the same as $2 here in the States. So well done. Tuck and Roll. Snowdub's channel is Puppet Heaven. Oh, no doubt. Check out my buddy Snowdub, who he had an impromptu power outage. Yeah, it might have been caused by his kid. No bueno. On that note, we move on to the next one, which is our friend Deleted Scenes. It's I think it says Bob, how Strange World doing? Too soon? Yeah.
Never too
It's a
soon.
little $150 million of Meg. In fact, we're going to be able to talk clearly about that tomorrow in the first video on my channel. So thank you for that. Zon Zoltan, a member for 11 months at the rewards level. Thank you for that, my friend. Says, Hail CC, Disney is dying and now pointing fingers. Yes, they are. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Grant is somehow a member of my channel. Grant, you're my editor. What's up?
Yeah.
Thanks for joining the channel, bro. Appreciate it.
No worries.
All right, moving on from there. Dash drops another $1.99 and says, Chapek is not Ned Stark. No. What's dumber than Ned Stark in Game of Thrones? That kid that was suckling at the sister of what's her name's breast. Right? What the hell was that kid?
I don't know. He grew up
the one with the moon door.
Yeah, the moon door idiot. Yeah. That's Chapek. Yeah, someday he's going to get kicked out his own door hole. That probably didn't sound good. All right, we got another member chat here from Grant. Grant, how are you also joining at the same time you've been a member for 13 months and also my editor?
Maybe he
just
upgraded.
rejoined another month.
Thanks. Anyway, he says, big shout out to all the viewers and members. I agree with all those terms. Thanks. Wow, bro. This is a weird super chat from somewhere with IDR. Holy shit, 20,000 IDR. I'm rich.
Well, yeah, because as you know, I live in Indonesia, so I can.
Oh, but is that a lot of money?
$1.20.
No. Yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, anyways, congratulations, Culture. That's me. Culture Casino on 4,600 subs. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. By the way, that's like $1.27 conversion. So
I was pretty close on a guess then.
Also, what the flip? Grant for Try Guys, $20. Wow, those guys super.
Well, no, it's Turkish money because I live in Turkey. So,
dude, are you just teleporting everywhere? What's happening right now? Question for panel favorite MMA fighter. Well, my favorite panel MMA fighter would be Brahma Bull. So, yeah.
Does he do MMA?
Sure. You don't?
You get enough beers in them, you might.
Might. Well, bourbons, yeah.
Dude, wait! I thought everybody in Colorado was an MMA fighter.
No, you're thinking of Nevada.
I don't get out of this chair half the day.
Oh, well, that's an MMA fighter, right? I'm very confused right now. There's other member chats that I'm not grabbing.
No,
right now,
Nevada is the home of MMA fighters and porn stars. They all live there.
All right. Well, Cash, my buddy Cash, has been a member here for 3 months. Actually, it's longer than that. But he says, "Hail to all." Well, Cash, I love you, brother, and I love your what do you call that? Icon, avatar thing. I love the thing that you got. And if you have like your like animated thingies turned on, that clown really throws up, which is probably pretty gross. I don't think about it. Rob Alta says for a 13-month membership, Culture, you keep bringing the cool boys and the hottest girls to the yeah, I know. I mean, 6 is here, so yeah. That's why I've been a member for 13 months. Oh no, yeah, I know. I'm trying to get Mexican Iron Man to come on my show. He doesn't like white guys. I'm just saying.
He was on our show a couple of weeks ago when we did Wakanda Forever. So
yeah, do you have any white guys on your channel?
I mean,
yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, so
Told me I can't write off bourbon as a business expense.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you actually can. If you display your bourbon, you show it, you sample it on stream. That's a write-off, bitches. Anyway, WG for $10, the guy that granted 10 wonderful memberships to the Culture Casino channel a little earlier says, because hair products don't buy themselves. Well, this is true. And you purchased exactly 1/4 of one hair product, my friend. Thank you. Although my own Culture Casino brand of hair and body care line will not be that expensive. You will get quality organics starting this spring. And if you think I'm kidding, I'm not.
Keyword there is organic.
You know what, Brahma? Don't make me punch you in the throat.
How much are they going to be, and how big are the bottles?
You're going to get at least 16 to 32 ounces of the appropriately sized, ratioed shampoo to conditioner if you buy them that way. So you will get a 16-ounce conditioner to a 32-ounce shampoo. And the first batch or first round is going to be oriented towards men. Round 2 will be for women. And then there are going to be some unisex products that everybody should use, despite the fact that we have different pH in our skin, pH balances, I should say. We can all use the same lotion.
Now, when you say unisex, I assume you mean non-binary?
Yeah, are you a biologist, Culture?
I don't.
What is a woman, Culture?
What I know is do we have another story, or am I just gonna
do you? I mean, I know we just talked a lot about Disney, but I also wanted to bring this one up too because I don't think we covered this one.
Hey, well, can I get a couple more supers? Because apparently there's more.
I mean, it's your show. I don't know what you're asking me for.
I don't know. Hey, wait, is there more or less?
I thought WG's was the last one.
Okay, WG is the last one. Okay, so then let's move on because I don't want to abandon. No super chats are left behind on my show.
Not now that I'm here.
No, thank you. Six has me organized. I feel like that was the thing that was missing on my channel was
organization.
Yes,
you needed a 6 in your back room.
She kept verbally slapping him in private chat. Stop unstarring things. I'm doing this now.
Did I needed somebody on my sit? No, that doesn't sound good. Okay, we're gonna cover a story that Jacob wants to talk about. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Go, Jacob.
There we are. So Chris Hemsworth, you guys know who he is? He's been in a few movies over the last few years. They've been pretty popular. Not good, but been popular for the most part. Yeah, no. That's his little brother. We're talking about the real Thor. I don't know. There's like 4 brothers now, so I don't even know if he's like the middle child or like the older child now at this point. There's too many Hemsworths. But anyway, so Chris Hemsworth is talking about his return to the MCU. Depends on if he's portrayed drastically different than Taika Waititi's bastardization. I'm pretty sure John did that one, by the way. So here's the story here. If you guys haven't followed, earlier this year there was a movie released called Thor: Love and Thunder. Not a lot of you guys saw it. it because it barely broke even and it wasn't very well received by anyone who did see it. This has been, God, when you think about Thor, I mean, if we're being honest, Ragnarok was probably the best Thor movie, but that's only like by default because nobody liked what was the Dark World. That was just a terrible film, and only few people really liked the first Thor movie. So, but over the last few years, Chris Hemsworth has been working a lot with the Russo brothers. If you know the Russo brothers, they did Infinity War, they did Endgame. They've also been responsible for Chris's little side project with Netflix, which is the Extraction series. They just wrapped filming on Extraction 2, which should be out next year. So he's gotten to work a lot with them over the last few years and really likes working with them. But because he is Thor, he is one of the OG Avengers characters, he's been doing the Thor movies with Taika Waititi, or as I have to call him, David Cohen, for the last few years as well. And I think he's getting a little tired of it because there was a statement that he made a few months back when the movie got released saying that this is a film that a 7-year-old would write. And everyone kind of thought that he was just being playful with Taika Waititi. And I was like, no, I don't think he really likes this guy at all. I don't think that's something you would say about a director that you have generally positive things to say about it. And, well, this story may just confirm that he doesn't want anything more to do with him moving forward. So I love this picture, too, by the way, because this is a real photo frame from the movie that everyone doesn't like. But he says that if in order to come back for whether it's going to be in another Avengers movie or another Thor movie, God forbid there's another Thor movie in the future, it has to be a drastically different version of the character as seen with the more of the Looney Tunes presentation of him that we've seen in the last couple of Thor movies. Hemsworth spoke about a potential film. I think this was from the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, which I've never heard of, but apparently there's something. Josh Horowitz is the guy behind that podcast, and he asks, where do you go with Thor at this point? Hemsworth asserted that he was unsure if he would even get another chance to pick up his hammer now that his Marvel contract with Thor closed out with Thor Love and Thunder. So as of this moment, he hasn't signed another contract with Marvel to come back as a character. I don't know exactly what you do to bring him back at this point. I know the whole Lady Thor thing kind of blew up on his face because it pretty much relied on Natalie Portman coming back to the MCU. They got her back for one movie, then they killed her off because I don't even think she wants anything to do with this either. So they don't really have a direction and go with Thor at this point. Anything you could have done with Thor, you pretty much have already done with him at this point. He says that he would love to see his career-defining character be written in a more akin to the tortured hero he was in the last two Avengers movies, which was done by the Russo brothers, than the Taka movies. He says that if you look at Thor and Thor: The Dark World, they were quite similar. He says Ragnarok and Love and Thunder similar. I think they were about reinventing him. He says that I think we've had such a unique opportunity with Infinity War and Endgame do very drastic things to the character. I enjoy that, and he's stepped aside by calling him directly. He didn't call him out directly, but he did says that I like keeping people keeping people on their toes. It keeps me invested. I've said this before, but when things become too familiar, there's a risk of getting lazy. And because you go, what am I doing? He says, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm finished. So I don't know if I'm invited back. But if I was, I would like to be a dramatically different version in tone and everything, just for my own sanity. Another interesting point to this is that I believe there was a statement that he made a while back ago about how Chris Hemsworth is done with working with mad genius directors, quote unquote. So that's kind of like his third parting shot at David Cohen without directly naming him. But you can tell by reading in between the lines that there's definitely some distinction there. I don't think if he was honest with himself, obviously you can't really say that now, but if he was honest with himself, he probably doesn't like the way that the last movie turned out. The only positive thing about that film for him was the fact that the character of Love, if you guys have seen the movie, which is the little girl, was actually played by his real life daughter. So he actually got to share a scene with his daughter in the film, which is a great moment for him, I guess, but for audience members, it didn't really do much else to that extent. And then, like I said, what else can you do with this character that you haven't already done in this point? You've done 4 solo movies. You've done God knows how many Avengers movies, but 4 or 5 Avengers movies. How many appearances he's made in like the little standalone specials that they've done. So I think he's just kind of at a point where it's like, look, if you guys are going to make me come back and do another one of these things, I kind of want it done in a way that I have a little bit more say of. Now, is Disney going to allow anybody attached to their projects to have more say in the direction of the MCU? That's a question you guys can answer here. But from everything I've seen and heard from him the last few weeks, he's not exactly happy with the way things are going. He wants to keep working with the Russo brothers on other projects not related to the MCU. And I don't think he really likes David Cohen at all. Is that in my head? Maybe you guys can read up a little too in this. What do you guys think about this story here?
I think you're right on it, man. I think there's a lot of reasons to not do stuff right now with Disney. I mean, you can stack them on. I think you stack them like Gorewood. Tom, I mean, come on, you know how Hollywood works. Look,
I don't want to go to school.
What now? You don't want to go to school? Look, he
hasn't been to school in 50 years.
I know.
No, he has COVID.
Yeah, it's COVID. Oh yeah, he does still have that. But no, look, nobody wants to work with Disney right now. Russos are probably a good choice. Extraction 2, that's like on its way, right? I'm not.
Yeah, it's coming out. I don't think it has a set date yet, but I know it's coming out next year.
Yeah, I mean, why would you spend time, invest your time in Disney right now when they're obviously a falling giant? I don't know. I mean, we're seeing a massive shift in the cultural scales. I think that's probably the right way to describe it. And I think he wants to be on the right side of the fall. There are a lot of people in Hollywood that are not going to get what's happening right now. Yeah. You know, and you know, I mean, like, we can line them all up and talk about them. I mean, you know, you can be aligned with an extreme position, but the problem is when you fall within the extreme, you're likely to make yourself a target, and that's not where you want to be. So I feel like he's making a right choice. The Russos have no interest in being on either extreme, but certain parties do. And I think Cohen's a good person to avoid. And so are many others. I don't know. What do you guys think? Am I off base, smoking weed? What do you guys think? I don't know.
What? You got some weed?
What?
I have edibles.
You do?
Break them out. Let's go.
I think he spent a decade working to make a character, and then Taika Waititi made it into a laughing stock little bitch.
I think the minute
I could understand not liking Waititi,
but the minute they made him fat, I think that was the point. He went sideways.
Well, he seems to still like the Russos, and they're the ones that made him fat.
Isn't that weird?
I think that at least had some character growth. Having a comedy movie,
he was tortured, and that was what he said. He likes that style of character, being the tortured fallen warrior. The Russos did that. They just had to
he
make
went
him
into a
fat.
depression.
Well, he was okay. So from his very inception, okay. And by the way, I love the first Thor film. Okay, I'm weird because I thought it was great, but well, at least I think I'm probably weird. But he was tortured from the word go. And he did a great job with it. I mean, falling to earth, you know, you had two broke girls there, only with one that was not as interesting as the chick with the big, you know, assets.
Kenneth Branagh directed the first one. It was fine. The second one was boring and dumb. Aside from the
second
shit.
one was terrible.
The third one was good as far as Waititi goes. Like, that's as far as you can take him with that shit. Once you go past that point, you get Thor: Love and Thunder. So, like, I mean,
yeah, I personally didn't like Ragnarok all that much.
I did, and I understand people who don't. But
I don't like a movie about Armageddon where it's a
Ragnarok was
joke.
3 different films, right, or 3 different books. I mean, you know, if you like if you took 3 comic books, smashed them together, that was Ragnarok, right? Planet Hulk. What was there were 2 other ones. I'm not gonna get the name of them because I'm old, but there were 3 different comic books smashed together to make that film, right? And I liked it. I mean, I didn't love it, but I liked it. The boss loved it. I mean, we're different when it comes to films, but
yeah, I just didn't like the tone.
I get that.
For what was happening in the movie, the tone didn't make a whole lot of sense.
But that's the point at which I think that we talk about inflection points. We talk about inflection points all the time. I think that was one. I don't know, Tom.
like I said, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I know a lot of people didn't like that one, but it was the highest grossing of the bunch, and it will continue to be probably till the end of time now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but I'm also, my favorite of the Marvel films is like the Guardians films. So I mean, that's just me, right? So whatever.
Me too. I like the humor in that. It fits with that. I didn't think Armageddon fit with it.
But that's James Gunn. I mean, that's the guy you would tap.
Can we talk about how awesome the fucking holiday special was for a minute?
Yeah,
I liked it.
Go. You know what, Tom? The floor is yours, my man.
Santa Claus is a hairy freak with superhuman powers. I love that fucking thing. It was hilarious. I don't need the floor.
Well, no,
I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it.
But here's the thing. I'm looking forward to seeing it. You know what the gravy train of my free access to Disney Plus is gone. And all of my access to anything that I ever got from Disney is gone as of not that long ago. And I used to get a lot of free Disney things. I don't get it anymore. I don't even care anymore.
I even love the second film. I know some people didn't care for the second Guardians film, but
I thought the second film
there's
was
parts
good.
of it that I think I even kind of like better than the first film. So.
Look, first of all, I'm just going to say this: Kurt Russell.
Well, and to me, it's like The Empire Strikes Back. It's really what it is. I mean,
it sets everything up.
Well, not just that. I mean, it literally is. It's the same movie.
so for those of you who want to find a building to jump off of, you want to do that right around the time that Guardians 3. Well, okay, I'm not encouraging that, but Guardians 3 is going to make you unhappy.
Well, yeah, I mean, they pretty much already confirmed that that's going to be the last appearance out of any of those guys. So you can imagine a big goodbye that's not going to make people happy when they walk out of the theater.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to like the film overall. You're just not going to like a part of the film that's going to make you like sad.
Well, we're going to lose Drax. I'm sure that's going to happen.
I can't say anything.
All I can say is that 2023 would be a good year to start a death pool as far as MCU characters go.
Oh yeah, dude. If you thought previous slayage was high, next slayage is going to be very high. We're getting so close to A-Force, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I have zero interest in anything coming out of Marvel outside of Guardians or Spider-Man. I really don't care.
Karaoke. Okay, sorry.
I'm about the same place, Tom.
It's Spider-Man, Sony.
Special was
Deadpool,
pretty great.
Deadpool, I guess, but
yeah, Deadpool. But
Southern Belle asked, "Will there be any film in the future I'll be happy about?"
Are you not excited about the Marvels, which is 3 Captain Marvels in one movie? You're not going to love that one.
I'm going to tell you right now that. Okay, so did you see the automatic grift feature that Rotten Tomatoes now has?
No.
My grandchildren super love this. And I'm like going, that's a bot. You have no idea the bots that were thrown at the Strange World thing. I've never seen a bot fest like that. This film is tanking so hard. Bot fest activated. If you were a data scraper now.
What's the budget on this thing?
Which thing?
The Strange Worlds.
Oh, 180 million?
Yeah. It made about 28.
Oh, wow.
27 and a half.
What do you mean, oh, wow?
It's going to be like Mars Needs Moms levels.
It's $150 million loser, bro. I got a video on this tomorrow.
It already cost more than Mars Needs Moms, and it might make a little bit more than that. Holy shit!
Look! Everybody that you've seen a video on tomorrow is underselling just how catastrophic this is. I've got a video for you.
What's
tomorrow.
The box office ended at now?
You've got a video out tomorrow about it.
Yeah, I do.
Midnight Edge had a video today.
Hey, you guys did a good job today.
Andre fucked up and called it a Pixar movie, but yeah.
It's the same thing. Honestly, it is. I mean,
at this point, there really is very little. Ever since Lasseter's been running both, there's been very little separation.
Right. Lasseter got asked to do both things, and he did. He tried to remain true
That's
to
why
both
I'll still
things.
argue up and down that Wreck-It Ralph is technically a Pixar movie. I don't give a shit what anybody says. It is
But
basically
he
a Pixar movie.
He tried to delineate, right? The guy tried to draw.
It's a John Lasseter film, for fuck's sake. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and then they kicked his ass out the curb,
And that's why the sequel sucks.
They got Nada out there, and I'm like going, oh no.
Oh yeah, that's just indicative of their whole fucking lineup now. But this is bad.
You can't march out there in the world and say, yeah, we rock the box office with our animation power on a holiday weekend where we get 5 days. And yeah, we're gonna lose astronomical amounts of money.
Well,
but
for those like
tomorrow.
last I knew, Mars Needs Moms was Disney's biggest bomb of all time.
Well, Brother
right?
Bear wasn't.
Wasn't
animation. I mean, Brother Bear was rocking.
No,
the
Brother Bear
sad
made
bomb.
more money.
Yeah,
but what about John Carter? Wasn't that a bigger bomb?
John Carter may have been I don't think that cost as much. I think that made more money. But I was talking about animation wise. But yeah,
I mean, Onward is going to look like a box office winner after this film, folks.
Yeah, because John Carter made at least 284 million, so that's not so bad. It just cost too much
to get a sequel.
Exactly, yeah, it just cost too much to produce. But now Mars Needs Moms had a huge fucking budget.
The Good Dinosaur was a trash fire and a half.
Another bomb too, but I can't remember. I think that still made at least like 100 something.
It's so weird.
It still made a bit of money though.
Every time we walk the subject out there, I always say, why are we talking about Disney's film failures so frequently? Why is this happening? They're making garbage now. There's not a lot with redeemable value. Is that really true? Or
it's not even just that. It's the reason why they're bombing so hard is because they're putting way too much in just production alone. Like, this is something that they're going to have to answer moving forward. They can't keep spending $350 to $400 million to produce all this garbage anymore, unless $150 million loss is going to be a norm for them going forward.
You can't do that. You can't lose money like that. And it's constant. And again, I mean, there's a lot. I'm not kidding. Tomorrow's video, I just keep diving into it, and we're probably going to clip a little of this stream, maybe to make another video or add to that video. I would imagine Grant's busy in the background. He hasn't said a lot. Well,
when he gets Valiant sermon,
Valiant,
when Valiant gets going, it's like a Southern Baptist pastor.
I know. It's the same
topics. I was about to yell "Amen" a few times.
Dude, it was a soliloquy. He did the same thing on Midnight's Edge After Dark.
Get an organ playing in the background.
Yep.
Wait a minute. There is nothing wrong with going to church. No. There is nothing wrong with going to church, and Valiant's one of the best preachers you can listen to. But yeah, except he doesn't know a lot about fishing.
I said, can I get an amen?
I guess he missed that.
Can I get an amen?
Okay.
Hallelujah.
Look, we didn't line up subjects tonight.
Love on high.
It just slowly devolves into James Brown.
Can you see the light? I said, can you see the light?
You see the light. At least you're going to go full Blues Brothers in a second.
No, now he'll just stop.
You know what? You know what?
Even the band don't know what James is talking about.
Shanatsky's taking shots at me in the chat right now, ladies and gentlemen. And I just have to say, I had some great dad jokes tonight.
You had some dad jokes.
Yeah, please don't.
One or two bazingas in there, I guess.
Really?
Maybe.
Wow, you even like dropped me to a level lower than hell with Bazinga, because now I'm like fucking Sheldon dick.
Hey, people seem to like young Sheldon show for some reason. So.
Why?
I don't know. I watched one episode and I'm just like, nope.
So do you think that Disney's internally freaking out about Ant-Man 3? Because Ant-Man 3 has their next Avengers big bad in the film. And they're front loading it on, hey guys, Kang's going to show up, so go see Kang if you're going to see him in the Avengers in 4 years. But the last Ant-Man movie only did like $600 million.
Oh,
so
dude,
how much
they're stuffing their pants. I'm trying not to curse a lot.
This is the After Dark one. You're supposed
Oh
to.
yeah, that's right. They're shitting their pants. They're in big trouble. If I were Disney
We're
right now,
demonetized now.
shit. All right. Anyway,
How many times are we going to see Ant-Man die in this movie?
7.
Not enough.
I think it'll happen over and over and over with the different versions.
So I have to say, we watched Doctor Strange die like 27,000 times in freaking the first Doctor Strange film.
Yeah,
but
don't forget they got to kill Hank Pym too.
God,
yeah.
You do realize we're
Too many
going
white
to
men.
There will be nobody watching the MCU in 3 years. Nobody. I mean, chicks are going to bail out of it. You know why? Because their dudes aren't going to go anymore, and they aren't going to take them. And
wait, are you guys going to sit here and tell me that you're not going to go see an Avengers movie with Ironheart and Miss America and She-Hulk and Charlize Theron being the heroes fighting Kang?
Well, as much as they like to tell us that chicks want to see themselves in these roles, I think the chicks like to see Chris Hemsworth a lot more than they like to see Evangeline Lilly.
All right, I'm going to say this, and this is in no way indicating I have an interest in said actor, but Robert Downey Jr.'s for his age, smoking hot, and he's a great singer. So
he also eats bugs.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't. Jacob, be careful. You're gonna make me mad.
Cricket is technically a bug, so no.
I'm just saying, it's like dudes want to see dudes, right? They want to see dudes. They don't want to see we
want to see superheroes.
Yeah, they don't.
Well, you guys for you, culture.
What now?
I got news for you, culture.
Shut up.
That means you're gay.
Doom doom.
Culture is
yeah.
his boyfriend is.
I for one can't wait till we get Captain Carter, her own movie. I know you're gonna say, "Oh, she died in Doctor Strange." That was just a variant. It doesn't matter.
Okay, no, rewind. Yeah. I'm gonna say this. I loved the idea of Captain Carter. Right, I did from the very beginning, and I thought if they did that the right way, it'd be amazing. But no, we got Disney.
Nope.
Ah, shit. Pooh's here. Oh, by the way, 2 years from now, we're going to get we already had a Pooh horror film.
You said shit and poo at the same time.
That's right.
I just thought I'd let you know this. I got to ask Mr. Iger a few questions. Are we ever going to actually have any actual Avengers in our Avenger movies?
That'd be great. No, we're going to A-Force.
Bother.
Yeah, indeed. But the next, interestingly enough, we're going to get a Tigger horror film. No. We're going to get a Tigger horror film. Pooh, what do you think about that?
Have you ever lived with a Tigger? It's a horror.
Wow.
You don't have to go hard R on that word.
They bounce. They bounce everywhere.
I thought they were wonderful things.
Especially on your face.
Oh, boy. I did not need any of those things at all.
Hello.
Late night poo.
Yeah, sometimes you have to get up a little late night poo. You get a little rumbly in your tummy.
This is not my fault, folks. For the 215 of you that are here right now,
they let me loose from Disney.
I didn't do it. By the way, they did.
They said they were having cuts. They didn't say it was going to be all the characters. Oh, bother.
By the way, you're going to bring up the Bambi horror movie that they announced. You can already argue that Bambi was in fact a horror movie. Do you remember that old? Do you remember those old audiobooks from Bambi from like the 1990s where they're like literally like playing like the sound of like the fire in the background as Bambi's mother dies? You can't get much horrifying than that. It's a fucking 7-year-old. So
luckily, Bambi and I have found some work. This is true.
Mm-hmm.
But now I've got to go kill Baby Roo.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I thought you found some work. I was going to say that would be in Mexico. They formerly called it Donkey Show.
They put me in this movie.
Oh, we're killing our audience very quickly. All right, let's move on.
No more Pooh. Who's going away?
Bye, Pooh. All I know is this. At the end of the day, did the stunt that Disney just pulled, if they were trying to do it for the stock price, worth $8 a share?
No.
What are you talking about? We didn't lose anybody. You just didn't want me to do that no more.
No. Well, I like it when you do voices.
I mean,
We haven't heard Wisconsin.
Does anybody
draws in
outside
a
of us know what actually happened with Disney there? I mean, does anybody care besides people like us?
No, they think that
Not really.
Bob Iger is the savior because Chapek was a bad man, and now Iger's going to save it.
Right.
Well, and that's kind of the like disconnected version of what the press wants you to believe, but we all know better. And you know what I know better is my editor and friend, the guy who spends not only his time taking care of my needs, but apparently Tom's needs as well. It's Mr. Grant Gregory dropping 20 Culture Casino memberships on all of y'all. So for those of you who joined us and you've gone green in the best possible way, you know, not in the way that ensures that you might not have electricity consistently. Thanks for joining the membership here on the channel. And thank you, Mr. Grant Gregory, for the 20
You're welcome, buddy.
memberships.
And if you don't yet know how to accept them, go click up there where Grant's little presents are at the top where the live chat or the super chats usually appear, and click allow gifts.
Yeah.
Culture,
Well,
don't you want to read everybody's names?
I did that before, and then nobody linked them in my chat, so I can't do it.
And then I'm glad I typed them in the private chat. Then.
You did?
Yeah, she did. It's
wait, then I'm going to read it.
Gigantic paragraph.
There's a paragraph of name. Okay, then I'm going to do it. Where is it? I'm looking.
Are you serious?
Clock.
No, I see. Stop. Everybody be nice to me.
The giant list of names is the giant list of names that she's talking about.
Just once be nice to me. That's all I ask. Just once.
I'll read them because I'm good at reading things.
Okay,
I'm
do
not
that.
good at memorizing things, but I'm good at reading.
Okay,
them.
it's there. I see it.
Gifted memberships went to Kenjack Ben. He's a good guy. I've seen him around. Davina Duckworth. She's really smart.
Yes.
Parrot Head. He's pretty funny. He's always posting these funny pictures of things. Alex Ashgan. Your name sounds like Ash Can. Johnny Boy. Johnny I'm not doing that. Ginger Justice. Clinton House. Real Raid Nation Gaming on Twitch. Not to be confused with the one on YouTube.
Hey, Culture, I'll be nice to you.
Aww.
Yeah.
You're a great man, and I appreciate everything you do. And was that Six that did that?
No.
Just because she's not in my Twitter inner circle.
It was me.
Good evening, everybody.
Cage Ben Peterson. Abomination AJ. Robert Deebs.
Yeah, cool.
News Lad. He's just a little lad, but he knows the news.
Hey, News Lad's awesome. He's part of the memers of Legend.
Slack R23. Chris Cook. Ted Millick. Sultan of Fahim. Maharilla Neworth. Martin Vasquez. See, like I can do like an accent if you need me to. And A to the A. Thank you for being members. We hopefully can make you offers you can't refuse.
All right. Well, yeah, for a long, long time. Yeah. Speaking of for a long, long time, and thank you for joining us. That 70s rock fan is on the bottom of the total poll, which
he's been alive for a long, long time.
I'm under Brahma, which is disturbing to say the least.
Well, no, I mean,
he is a bull.
You're in your place.
Right. All right. Anyway, Brett Cohen for $5 Australian, which is worth about $1.50 here. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Actually, all currencies are being balanced. I wonder why that. Anyway, the real question is how long will the people let the producer-style write-offs go on? The people pay for it in their taxes. Ultimately, I don't know if that's going to exist much longer, my friend. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, and again, once again, thank you for the super chat. I think people are wisening up to the craptasticness of bailout.
Here's the thing: insurance companies don't like to lose money.
No.
And I'm sure that they're not going to be giving out too much of a handout for COVID. That's probably why they were begging for a handout from the government, basically. So yeah, as far as that goes,
So
I think
if
Zaslav got away with the extent that you can. Sorry, Six.
if insurance companies don't like to lose money,
Oh,
why did they, or did they have to? Why did they insure Ezra Miller to come back for reshoots?
underwriting, and it wasn't the insurance company; it was third party.
Well, we kind of learned from the whole Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial that these insurances are a bunch of fucking jokes. Let's be real. It only matters about who's getting insured, right? Like, that's what really fucking matters. And if you're a big studio like this, you can get anything done. It's not impossible. If they want Ezra Miller, they'll get Ezra Miller. It may even fall under the original insurance. I don't know. Did they have to get new insurance for reshoots?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. If
No,
And it may be a blanket type insurance instead of specialized. I mean, like, it doesn't matter who the actor is. I mean, they could just blanket it at
but the
some point.
okay,
Going
so
forward, I can see him being a problem, like with Lindsay Lohan. Sorry, Coach.
No, I was going to say you're 100% right. It would be a completely different somebody. The same insurer is not necessarily going to underwrite the next project he's involved in, right? And then you have what are they called? It's not a primary underwriter. It's the secondary underwriter that can show up to supplementary. I don't know how that works. I'm not
talking about reinsurance.
Nah, the guys that are like the secondary insurer for like ancillary things, like the guys that like secondary policy. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But
Supplemental.
Yeah, supplemental. Yeah, I think I said that word already. Anyway, it's like they come in later, they add additional things, and people buy and pay for it and stuff like that. And those are probably the deals that got written after they fucked this thing up 3 times. So we'll honestly have to see there. We have got another super from Brent Cohen again for another Australian $2. Says, is this Bane poo? Yes. Bane poo.
I was born in the woods. My
go.
friend Piglet, he took me there.
Oh boy.
You think that's the voice all the Chinese people hear as the government seals them up in their homes?
Well, right now, yeah. Based on, well, I can't say.
You simply walked into 100 Acre Wood, Christopher Robbins. I was born in it.
Oh, man. That is not right, bro. I'm gonna have nightmares tonight. And of course, Shinotsky, who
you now have my permission to cry.
Shinotsky's been coming on like very strong lately, doing wonderful work in a lot of different places. Thank you for that, Shinotsky, for $2. $2. I want my $2. Did you guys see that film?
Yes.
Yes.
Better off dead.
Better off dead.
Yeah. Back
this when pure snow.
It was back when Cusack was cool.
Feel my brain.
You remember when Cusack was cool?
Yes.
Wow. Anyway, Shinansky for $2 says, so Culture can get some cream for all those burns.
Ouch. Sick burn.
If he had just used lube in the first place, he wouldn't have gotten all burnt.
He'd shave.
Yes. This is like elder abuse on my own channel. I don't know what's happening right now.
Now you're letting your age show.
What happened now?
Flame retardant lube.
Is there anything you guys want to wrap the show with?
No petroleum based.
We're running out of time, and I gotta go to bed. Wait, I don't
know. I watched. We talked a little bit about the.
Oh, wait! Tell everybody about Tulsa King.
Tulsa King is hilarious and good.
Yes.
If you haven't had a chance to check it out yet, I think the 3rd episode is out now.
Yes,
I may go check it out.
Can I say that I finally finished the last episode of Reacher? It's a good show.
Oh, great you were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, I don't often get excited about programs because they're always full of garbage. And aside from the chick rocking a very minuscule rack in the show, it was a good one. Great show.
You were more looking at the guy that was playing Reacher, though, really.
Dude, you know what? When the dude's breasts are bigger than the chick's breasts,
that's right.
That's no bueno, bro.
So here's the thing: he's a beautiful man.
He is.
He is actually pretty good looking.
It was surprisingly Surprising how much they didn't fuck that up.
Bye, Katina. We have so many amazing people in this chat. I love everybody here. Don't leave.
Allegedly.
We're almost done. Don't leave. Don't leave.
Tulsa King is funny though. Stallone in that role, it's been very funny.
So I got a bunch of clips before it came out, like almost a month ago now, and I'm like, this is going to be a great show. And then Tom says, this is a great show, and so I got to watch this.
Great fucking show.
Yep.
Let's all go watch it.
Well, of course it is. It's written by Taylor Sheridan, who's like the best.
Well, and Sly is just excellent.
Well, okay, so but wait, Jacob, this is a true story, right? He wrote the pilot episode in one day. He wrote the pilot episode in one day. Woo!
How else are you going to get back to writing Yellowstone?
Dude, the pilot episode is essentially the first part of GTA Vice City anyway. So
It does. You
is.
know, you're joking to a point, Grant, but you're not wrong. It does feel like I'm like, I want this in a GTA game.
Yeah.
Like this is what this should like. This is what I want. Like this would be an excellent game in GTA. Like it feels just like that. Like when he busts into the fucking weed joint and the way he takes it over feels like a cutscene in a GTA game. It is so much like if this was a show, this would be GTA the show. Yeah.
So basically, he drives around on the sidewalk, knocking NPCs
Killing
over and looking
killing
for
hookers and stealing
looking
their money.
for hookers.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
No,
What
but the show itself is pretty simple setup.
What network is that on again?
It's on Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus. Okay.
As far as you Canadians, I have no idea.
Canada get fucked.
Yeah, I've got an eye patch for that kind of thing. I wear an eye
I just
patch
know
for
from
that kind of
Paul. I just know from Paul's griping that you guys are very limited on your choices, but you guys tend to get like everything on
I've pretty
one
much
channel.
I've pretty much got a choice of everything. Tom.
Okay. But yeah, no, it's a basic premise is Sly plays an old gangster who's been in prison for 25 years, and when he gets out, he's expecting some kind of reparation for his years spent in prison to be taken care of, and of course, what do? They dump him in the middle of nowhere in Tulsa. And of course, he sees it as an insult, but he makes the best of it. And I don't want to get into too much more than that, but that's the basic setup. So he comes into this, podunk area. And to me, the scene that kind of encapsulate what this whole show is, like I just said, he walks into this weed joint and he takes it over. He's like, you're going to start paying me, I think it's 20% of your
protection money.
Take. He's like, for what? He's like, protection money. He's like, well, I didn't need any protection until you showed up.
Right.
That's kind of the whole, that in a nutshell tells you what the show is kind of. So, yeah.
Oh wow! You know what? We have royalty with us who is awake. Sporking News Podcast, who's been a member of my channel for 18 months, says, "Go to bed, people."
Why are you awake, Scott? Don't you have to work in 3 hours?
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you got to be awake in 3 hours. What's going on?
Probably got up to tinkle.
Oh,
I love it when I'm doing Mead radio in the middle of the night and Scott wakes up for work. Because he gets so excited. You can tell he's like a little puppy. He gets all excited because he knows I'll play him a couple of tunes.
In the morning, I have a friend.
Yes, people are up.
Yeah. Tulsa's a nice city. I used to work there. I like it.
Yeah, something's very wrong with Scotty. Why are you awake?
He's like she said, he's probably on the toilet just watching us on his phone.
He's taking a poo.
By the way, I'm gonna be. This is me being completely dead honest with all of you. I'm gonna remember a great, if not a great many of you, all of you people, as I get bigger and bigger, and I'm gonna make fun of my friends always, including Scott and probably many of you. So just be aware. One thing I do not lack is memory for all of you, and if you meet me in person. You'll regret. I mean, you're gonna enjoy it. I will give you a poker chip and a hug, and you can pull my hair.
I love that you're going to be thinking of me as you get bigger.
Can I get the poker chip first?
Sure.
Just kidding.
You're gonna pull my hair, and you're gonna like. I'm gonna like it. You're gonna know that it's real because I'm tired of this weave bullshit.
Just gloss right over what Six said.
Gorilla Glue exists for a reason, so that doesn't prove anything.
Yeah.
I don't like all. These are my friends, okay? Yeah, Shanatsky's like, first things first, learn to be funny. Shanatsky. Come on. What else is happening? Okay, well, I got to say goodbye to my friends now because it's late and I got to go to bed. And we've been going for almost 2 hours and I know how to wrap a show. So the guy on the bottom, his name is Mr. Grant Gregory. He's my editor. He's also got way more subs than anybody on this panel. Well, now he's in the middle. Why did you do that, Grant? Grant!
Because you looked away from the camera.
Because
so.
he can.
Grant, tell everybody that you do stuff and things.
I do stuff and things. So this week I'll be doing stuff and things for culture and for sporking. I'm also delving deep into having fun with AI writing. I asked AI to completely write a story. It was supposed to be about a man who got tired at work, and it turned into, I don't know what it turned into, and I'm getting AI to also voice it. So it's going to be a completely story time with AI. So I have a sample if you want to hear
it. Sure, play them an example of embarrassing me or others.
No, it's not actually. It's not you with this one. So
wait a minute. So I thought I was going to read something that would make everybody uncomfortable.
No. Dude, you know how long?
No. That was when he did 50 Shades of Grey in your voice. That was disturbing.
Dude, I got so tired of hearing about how you're opening people up and doing stuff. It just, I had nightmares, so I had to stop doing that.
Bondage nightmares.
Oh, all right. So, here it is.
Works
wait, I added
shoe shop all by him.
All right, so this was, the prompt was middle-aged man works in a shoe shop.
Okay.
So it's got multiple voices and everything to it. It's a 2-minute little story. This is what the AI thought I meant when I said a nice, friendly, happy story.
A middle-aged man works in a shoe shop all by himself. He hates his work and has been there for years. He's a quiet guy, but is always polite to everyone around him. One day he sees a woman wearing an expensive dress and thinks she looks great, so he approaches her.
Excuse me, miss, could you spare some change?
The woman smiles back at him.
Sure, I'll give it to you.
She reaches into her purse and gives the man all of the money she had on her. The man thanks her profusely before walking away with his arms full of money. He calls her an insult and laughs at how stupid she was. That night, as the woman gets home, she realizes that the man is standing outside of her house waiting for her.
What do you want?
He laughs again.
You're such a dumb bitch.
He says
I've seen you wear
What
that
the?
dress before.
Isn't this normal Australian dating?
What the hell is this?
Oh, really? That must be nice.
She said sarcastically. She opens the door and starts walking inside when she feels something hard push up against her from behind. She turns around to see that same man holding a knife up against her neck.
Don't scream or else I will slit your throat.
As the man pushes her deeper into her house, the woman struggles and tries to escape. Her husband follows closely behind her, pushing her down onto the ground.
Her husband
As he
now.
walks over to her, the woman begins to cry, begging him not to kill her.
You fucking whore. What did I tell you about coming here?
He slaps her across the face, leaving her stunned.
Get up, you fucking cunt. We need to talk about this.
Her eyes
I don't
widen
use this kind of language.
in fear. She slowly
what the fuck
stands
is
up and
this?
stares straight ahead.
Why would you
50 Shades of Grey 4.
say those
This is a
things?
new
We
Disney
have
show.
a family together. You are mine. Get it through your head.
His voice gets louder as he screams at her.
Fuck you. Get out of here and don't come back. I hope you
It
die
keeps
alone and
freezing,
miserable.
too.
With
Yeah.
tears streaming down her face, she backs away until she hits the wall. He turns to his wife and says,
Just kidding. I love you.
the woman runs off crying after seeing that the man didn't mean what he said, but then she turns around to find her husband lying dead on the floor of their apartment with blood pooling underneath him. She runs into the bathroom and vomits. A week later, the police find her wandering in the street and bring her to the hospital where they examine her. They ask if she can remember anything, and she tells them everything that happened. The detectives go to speak with her husband husband's coworkers only to discover that no one knew much about him except for his coworkers. She is sitting at home and turns around to see her husband standing there. Then she realizes that it was all a dream and her husband is back working at the shoe shop that he hates. And she visits him every day. The end.
The end.
Conclusive proof that artificial intelligence will never take over.
What the fuck?
Does that AI have Mad Mardigan's brain plugged into it just a little bit?
All right.
Oh, is that what it was? Was AI shit?
Did they dust for vomit?
It was a script by Mad Mardigan. Was voiced by Yeti Cast and 6, and I'm
Corey too.
So confused right now.
That was better than 50 Shades of Grey. It had more
That was Yeti Cast? It sounded like the voiceover guy.
Corey.
No, it was all just fake voices and everything.
But the guy playing the husband sounded like Yeti Cast, and the chick sounded like
it's
6.
not Yeti.
No, it sounded like the movie voiceover guy.
So 1 minute he's stalking her, and then he gets married. They get married within microseconds of him stalking her.
There's still a bit of room for interpretation. I've worked out.
Interpretation? What the fuck was that?
Well, now we know how Marvel TV shows get made.
They wish they had that kind of fucking drama.
Showed up.
It's true, Jacob.
So for those of you here on the stream, that was Grant's outro, which is freaking weird.
Still shorter than yours.
It's Australian dating.
my friends are wonderful. The guy below me is my hetero life mate. His name is Tom.
Below you.
What I do now?
You just assumed
he said you're a bottom.
I did.
No, I'm not.
Well, I just said you're below me.
No, I'm not.
Dude, hey Tom, what's the opposite of above me?
Below me.
Below me.
Yeah. So anyway, Tom has a YouTube he channels. He's a lot of places. He's going to be hanging out with me on Tuesday on the Tuesday Tirade. I'm hanging out with him tomorrow on what's the show called?
Usually Midnight Edge in the morning.
All right, thanks. A good story. Yeah, after the 6-minute daily, which is right before that. And Tom, when is Midnight Snacks going to be out there for everybody?
Midnight?
Really?
I don't know. It's
you can
midnight.
Have a snack in 13 minutes.
Yeah, I'll try to have a snack here.
I gotta go to bed. Tom, anything you want to promote on our way out the door? You guys had a great video today. It went like viral.
Mm-hmm. Like I don't know what the hell happened.
Like I need penicillin.
I don't know what happened.
All right. Well, that was Tom. He's excellent in self-promotion, I guess. Next to him is the 70s dude thing.
I do enjoy the 6 minute daily culture. It is very good.
Thank you. Yeah, a lot of people do.
Well, thank you for allowing me
the 6 minute?
Yes, the 6 minute daily.
I'm fine with it.
I do thank you for letting me slip in here.
Well, speaking of slipping in there, thank you, Six, for marking this. Mecha J for $2 says AI, artificial idiocy. That's called slipping it in, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, Mecha J. And so, if you haven't checked out, can I say your real name in front of people?
You can.
Okay, Brian. If you haven't checked out Brian's channel, that 70s rock fan, you're missing out. He has knowledge of stuff and things.
Yeah, James Bond theme stream tomorrow, 3 p.m. Mountain Time. We're talking James Bond themes.
Excellent.
Yeah. And Brahma and I, every Saturday night, do a hockey and drinking show. Bourbon boarding. On purpose. We drink on purpose and then talk about hockey.
Lisa knows what we're talking about.
She does. She knows our hockey.
The guy next to him that is, kind of mouthy with a lot of booze. Yeah, that would be Brahma Bull. He is my compatriot multiple times a week and a great friend. A guy who actually understands the most important beverage on earth, alcohol. Bourbon. That's right. Well, I was giving you a broad scope, but sure, bourbon. And tell him stuff and things and items.
Yeah, well, you can catch me and Culture on Yelling at Parked Cars tomorrow night, Thursday Night Throwdown. on Thursday night, both on Comics Division streams or channel. And like Brian was saying, we've got a show on Saturday nights at 10 p.m. Mountain. We do talk about hockey and a little bit of bourbon or whiskey or whatever we happen to have on hand. We're doing that show a little bit different. It's on my Rumble channel, and it's on that 70s YouTube and Odyssey channel. So we are simulcasting on multiple channels for multiple creators. So we're finding it to be interesting, but we're growing an audience. People are, I think, liking it. They keep coming back. So come check that out on Saturday night.
I want to be on a hockey show. I like Vegas.
Oh, you're welcome, Jacob.
You're
yes,
welcome to
you
come
can
on.
join anytime. Yeah.
I mean, Vegas got the ever-living shit kicked out of him last night. But, I mean, I still like
those
Vegas.
great fluorescent jerseys, though. Great.
Yeah, they're never going to wear those again.
Those retro jerseys.
Speaking of fluorescent, someone who is effervescent, the person that draws the light to, well, themselves would be our very own female representation on this stream this evening. This super hot and properly coiffed Six.
My soul is dark and dirty.
Oh, that was a great.
I believe that.
I worked really hard on that intro.
Did you?
I did. And I regret.
There's going to be a golf version of that at Avatar next week.
If I knew how to Photoshop, I would. Yeah.
Oh, we can get the Legion of Memers on it for you if you want.
I'd like.
Okay. Okay. And then last,
Do you still
but
got
not
that
least,
do yourself channel thingy culture?
Yeah, I do, but we'll get there in a second because I've got an outro that is going to have to match the AI thing I was subjected to just a few minutes ago. But,
Well, I took one of Culture's classes. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
It was fun. He come in the classroom and he goes, "Students,
Well,
I think you're all intelligent, but I want any one of you right now that thinks you're stupid to stand up." And we all waited in a moment, looked at each other, and I finally stood up and he goes, "Tom, why are you standing up?" And I said, "Well, I didn't want you to be standing by yourself." That was fun.
okay, and Jacob from Society Reviews, bounding into comics and a lot of other places.
Drama
Jacob
got it.
I got it.
Jacob's incredibly talented and smart and witty and all of the things you need to be a quality writer. And I appreciate everything he does. Not only that, and his presence on YouTube is unmatched when it comes to, well, pretty much destroying all cinema at the moment. Jacob, tell everybody about what you're doing, where you are, and any other things you want to tell people.
Well, I'm catching up on the end of the year, so I got some movies to review for our best of and worst of lists that are coming up in December, so keep an eye out on those. At Side Reviews and at Bounding in the Comics, we'll be doing those. Got a few things at Boundings coming up, including the review of The Glass Onion. And so speaking of The Glass Onion, tomorrow night on my YouTube channel, myself, Rick Aragorn, and Rob Motto are going to be reviewing that movie tomorrow to find out if it's good or if it's bad, or if it's just one big pile of shit. Keep in mind, that's Rian Johnson's movie. I know all you guys really love Rian Johnson, so pretty sure you guys are very eager to hear how great that movie is. And then, of course, Tuesday night is a lot of people do. Tuesday night is the Barroom Podcast. I think we're at episode 26 now. I think 26 or 27. I lose count. We've done so many now. So yeah, go check that out on YouTube. Like I said, Society Reviews on YouTube, Twitch, and Society Movies on Twitter until Elon Musk gives me my old count back, which he plans on doing next week. So a lot of things we got coming up.
All right. And last but not least, me. I had a great time tonight. All of you are incredible humans. I have a saying. It is karate with infinite patience. You and I are rare people. Tom, do you remember when I sent that to you?
Yeah, it was late at night and you were fucked up. Probably on some drug that we don't want to speak of.
In the chat is my in the chat is my good friend from across the pond, XRL7. You guys need to check out that channel. It is so worth your time. Cyberpunk, music, great storytelling, pixel art. I can't say enough good things. I don't know. Brahma probably could add to it, but thanks for being here, Mike. And
Great guy to talk to, also.
Oh, just incredible dude. Love him. We need more like him. And with that, you guys ready for the outro?
Do it.
Okay.
Well.
No, that's too early. It's too early. Okay, ready?
It's already playing in my mind.
All right.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you had shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I don't fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face to make you go take it back.
Hey,
Ah, the
Jacob.
balls are back. How you doing?
Oh, yeah. Pretty good. Have I ever told you about Sazerac Rye Straight Rye Whiskey? It's
Oh,
the
no,
best.
sir, you have not.
It is my second drink for the night.
Only your
Nobody
second?
will believe that.
Oh, goes without saying. Yeah.
Why, hello there, random citizen.
Oh, hey there, little buddy. How's it going?
Have you subscribed to Culture Casino yet?
Well, no.
Friggin'
Oh!
These guys, I tell ya.
Oh!
Dang it, I missed. Why won't these guys just subscribe already?
That hurt.
So, Tom, how do you really feel about poo?
Oh, bother. I
Do you feel like somebody's...
really don't know.
Do you feel like sometimes you just want to burn the whole fucking thing down?
Well, sometimes I look at the forest and I see everybody bugging me with their problems, and I'm like, one match could fix it all.
You just have to grin and bear it, don't you?
I see what you did there.
Have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
How did you think tonight's show went, Six?
Well, I did a lot of making out while you guys were pontificating about Iger and stuff.
Oh.
I have this pillow that I practice with.
Well, who's on the pillow?
It's Mickey Mouse.
Oh, wow. So you're a fan of Disney then?
Well, I'm a Star Wars fan, and since Star Wars is now Disney, It's almost like I'm kissing George Lucas.
Yeah, I got nothing for that one. All right. What are you guys still doing here? What? Go home. Seriously. The show's over. I'm serious.